Okay, we'll begin right away with our 40 Ideas in 40 Minutes panel. More than 90% of American Farrier Journal readers report that they deal with backyard horse accounts. While performance horses draw much of the attention, the backyard horse is the true backbone of this industry. We've assembled a panel of farriers whose books contain a significant percentage of backyard horses. This is a fast-paced session that will allow each presenter 1 minute for each idea, covering the foot care and business aspects of backyard horses. Let's welcome Mark Aikens, Pete Healey, and Dean Moshier. Mark, we'll begin with you. Confirm their information.
Thanks for the introduction, Jeremy. First of all, when a client contacts me, what I like to do first thing is to get their home address, all their contact details, their home and cell phone numbers, and ideally the stable address of where the horse is. And I just find this suitable. It just helps with sat nav, so I can find exactly where I'm going. I'm not getting lost, not having to make phone calls when I'm on the way to the call in case I get lost. And also I'll take down their email address. What I always do with my clients is I have a whole list of terms and conditions in Word document format, and I'll email that document to the client so they'll understand all my terms and conditions, so when I turn up there's no surprises, that the horse will be ready and prepared for shoeing, not turned out in a muddy wet field when I arrive, just to make everything work easily and just keep the wheels well oiled.
Fantastic. Pete, tuck the lead.
Thanks, Jeremy. I like horses that are in a pen by themselves or just out in the pasture and you're trimming them. You just take your tools. I like a rope halter with a 12-foot lead rope. I just take that with me. A lot of times I'll just put that on them, and I'll tuck the lead rope up underneath my belt. Kind of like if you've ever ridden with a Makati rein with a snaffle bit or a hackamore, you can do that, and you're connected to the horse. You can always grab that rope and kind of tip their head to you if you want, but once you got a foot up off the ground, they're really not going to go anywhere. And a lot of those horses are more comfortable just standing there rather than being tied up somewhere or in a cross tie, and it's real efficient. If you got a bunch of horses to go through, you can catch them like that. You just got to be careful in a pen with a bunch of horses that the other ones don't come up and bother you. The horse you're working on could get defensive, so you want to make sure that doesn't happen. But it's a good, efficient way to get around a bunch of horses.
Sorry, here we go. Dean, keep the horses clean.
Yeah, keep those horses clean. Early in my career, I used to carry around an extra hand towel. So if the clients, especially those clients that are getting home after work, if they were bringing horses in and they were wet, I would have a towel and I'd be toweling the horses off for them. Well, gosh, boy, did I certainly get taken advantage of doing that for them. So once I stopped carrying a mud towel and the owners had to wash their own towels, they started bringing them in earlier, making sure they were in for me. In fact, I even had one owner that was so courteous because the horses, again, it was just that season, everybody was in mud. She actually took the horses, the 2 horses she had, and actually loaded them on her stock trailer so they would, she hosed them and then dried them for a few hours before I ever even got there. So by the time I got there, I'm like, where are the horses? And I heard all this commotion in the trailer. She starts unloading the horses. So it's amazing how courteous you can get your clients to be if you just point out that there's a problem.
Thank you. Explain what you charge, Mark.
Yeah, first time the client contacts you, it's important to determine what your charges are going to be, whether it's for trimming, whether it's for shoeing, whether they've got a single horse, whether it's a multiple horse. Do you charge a call-out fee or mileage or anything like that? And again, just email what your price list is to them, and also in that price list I have things like for return checks and interest payments if there is any delay in payment. And also at that time as well, it's essential, as well as telling them what you charge, what you want to be paid for, is how you're going to be paid, what payment methods are acceptable to you. Some people may want to be paid. You may want to be paid by cash for the first time to sort of understand them and have a good feel about them. Whether you want to go with a bank transfer or a check, and obviously there's a lot of other with the software on phone apps and things like that. There's many ways that you can be paid. But you don't want to be in a position where you turn up to a call, you've done the work, shoes are on the feet, you're already written the bill out, and they're kind of looking at you, expecting like a month's free credit or what have you. So it's just one of those things, just to get it out of the way so everyone knows what you're going to be charging.
Okay, thank you. Pete, meet at the vet.
Yeah, I work at a large vet clinic, so I'm in and out of there every day, and I do have a lot of backyard horses, and what I do is to consolidate time is I just have them haul the horses over to me at the clinic. And it's handy for some of them it's handy for, some of it's not, but they'll get over there and they'll utilize the services at the vet as well, especially if we need to get x-rays or they'll get vaccinations. So it's a good way to save a lot of driving time going around, and a lot of people want my services, but I'm telling them, you know, I just can't go over and do one horse here or there. I'd have to charge you a call fee. So they're happy to haul the horses over, and I can stick them in my schedule there where I have some dead time, and it works out real handy.